I spent $1,700 on celebrities who aren't chefs, cookware, and small appliances. From a $19 skillet all the way up to a $600 cutting board. Let's see what's actually worth your money. Starting off with Drew Barrymore, who is not a chef, but she is a foodie. And she just gives off like human sunflower energy with a hint of chaos, which just reminds me a lot of my mom. But in addition to hosting her entire talk show, she has an entire line of home goods and cookware and appliances called her Beautiful line. I've tried a few items from it and I have loved them, but I'm so curious to try other items. She has so many products that we actually dedicate an entire channel just to reviewing her products. We would have content for the rest of our lives. What stands out the most is that they're so colorful and pretty and they look great on our countertop, which we all know most small appliances do not look on the countertop. We don't have a lot here. We have a walk-in pantry to hide things because they usually don't look good, but hers are beautiful. Well, let's check out the first one because I'm hungry. Her beautiful personal blender. I have a smoothie every single morning and I haven't had mine yet today and I'm starving. So I'm excited to try this out. I currently use a Vitamix, which is insanely expensive, but they work really great. The problem is the new ones, they don't come with the personal little blender thick cups. And look at this one. The seal broke and it's got like water residue and like mold growing on the inner layers of it. So I desperately need a new blender, but most of them don't puree everything properly, especially when you have like ice or frozen fruits and stuff. You always get those chunks. No chunks, Drew. Let's see what it's like. Look at it. I'm here for this purple. It's gonna be very tough to beat a Vitamix, but you know what beats it already? The fact that this was $29 and not like what, 500, 700? That is a lot of accessories and a lot of things for $29. They don't feel like heavy duty. Can you come feel the, you know what?
I can hear it. I can hear the difference.
It's very lightweight, which is nice, but it also speaks a little bit to like the quality of materials. Okay, so it has a small chopping blade for I think doing like spices and herbs and like dried things. And then it has the regular blade, I think for making more of like smoothies and stuff. And it comes with a travel cup and your lids and things. Do we need to read any of these?
No, you never did in the last video, you threw them all away.
Perfect. Looks like a smoothie. My smoothies I do every morning. I just do banana, spinach, peanut butter, chocolate protein powder, cinnamon, and goat milk. And ice. I don't know how to turn it on. I'm assuming you just twist it. Smells a bit like burning plastic. I don't know if that's just because the first time using it.
Could be.
I gotta say, I really like the little lid. It's good for traveling. That's good just like, okay, now I can drink right away. I mean, you can see that there's no like big chunks and things in there. It works in that sound.
You remember what that's called, Lori?
Manuel.
Who is Manuel?
Who's Manuel? And how does he know so much? This things.
This is definitely going to be the highlight of the video.
Kevin, I don't know how to figure out it's dishwasher safe.
45 seconds of you reading the manual while your belly gurgles. You talk to yourself.
Help! This has a recycling symbol.
Well, that's good. Maybe that's what you do. You don't wash it, you just recycle it. It says everything's dishwasher safe except for the base. That's what it said, whatever that was.
It's reasonable because it's like
the
a motor.
top rack.
So we thought that because she also has the little grinding blade, that we would do a little grinder action. Okay, it feels a little clunky.
Can I try? No, you go ahead, sorry. I just wanted to experience it too. I'm not saying that a woman can't do it. You look so offended. You're right, it is very clunky. There's not like a...
Are you mocking me? Are you being
no, it's genuinely clunky.
And this is hard to see. It's a lot of twisted, like that's an excessive amount of threads. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe there's just too many threads. It comes with a shaker lid. What am I shaking this on? I don't know. I'm just gonna. How fun is that though? I'm a fan. If all I'm doing is my one smoothie every day, it's like, this is all I would need out, which doesn't take a lot of space on the counter, and the color is stunning. I see like a little bit of like the clunkiness or the lightweightness being more issues long term, but for the price, 10 out of 10. Who doesn't love ice cream after breakfast? Her $49 ice cream machine. Spoiler, it's missing the bowl that goes inside because you're supposed to have that in the freezer for like a couple hours or something before you make ice cream.
24 hours or something.
24 hours?
Yeah, it's been in there a couple days now.
I was just gonna make basic vanilla ice cream, but Kevin pointed out one of the best things about having your own ice cream maker is you can make whatever flavor you want. So I'm gonna make matcha ice cream because I've recently become matcha obsessed. I was reading the instructions in manual and it said to have your ingredients very cold or have your mixture very cold going into it. Our bowl is super cold and our mixture is nice and cold. I'm aware there's little flecks of matcha that maybe I could have sifted to get out. They don't bug me. I'm lazy. Why is the cord so short? I mean, this feels like a little short. Kevin, help. Kevin. There is plastic, and I can't get it out.
I think the whole thing's plastic. Look at that, look, you figured it out.
No thank for your
Hey,
no
look
help.
at that plastic that's in there.
Mode, and just start. Oh my God! Can you imagine if we waited like 35 minutes like nothing happened?
What's wrong?
I don't think it's supposed to go like, I think it's supposed to. Yeah, that feels wrong, it feels wrong, it feels wrong. Like I'm aware that this is me in this moment, but like, is it anybody else too?
What's wrong?
I can't.
What do you need me to do?
I need an adult. This feels like it's just gonna do the same thing. Should I just hold it?
Yeah, just hold it.
Okay.
It's like there's an angry gremlin inside of there trying to get out.
Okay.
Is it spinning? Let's
Yeah.
see.
Wait for 35 minutes. It did another. I think it might be done. It said like 35 minutes or until a desired consistency. Let's give it a break. So I have some thoughts. This was $49, but it seems like the comparable ones are more than that, like significantly more than that. So it does feel like a very inexpensive entry point ice cream maker. Doesn't smell super matchy.
It just tastes like vanilla ice cream to me. You taste matcha?
I would probably put like 3 times the matcha in because like I like a strong matcha flavor, but
Taste it all.
I had a thought. Hold on.
She just tapped my bum. She spanked me.
There is no proof.
Nope, there would definitely be proof. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it with some strawberry jam.
No, I don't.
You don't want to try it with it?
No, I do not. No, thank you. I said no, thank you. The texture and consistency of the ice cream is good.
I think the ice cream maker worked great, and honestly, as an entry point ice cream maker, I think it does a good job, but I feel like we need some like suction cups or something to hold this down, and I think some like stronger clips to really clip the top down to the base. I think those 2 things would have just fixed everything, and I would have given a higher review. As is, that was very scary of it just going all over the place.
It really looked and sounded like you had a creature.
Yeah,
trapped
there's
in
like
there.
a creature in there like ready to claw out.
The paddle
Yeah.
is plastic.
The paddle's
And
plastic.
the motor couldn't seem to handle the amount of power that it needed right away, so it was back and forth. I think it was like an overload thing. Even at $50, I wouldn't rate it high.
I'm thinking maybe a 6.5. I think that it's a good entry point ice cream maker.
It definitely beats kicking a coffee can full of cream and ice up and down the yard.
I feel like it would fall between like 6.5 and 7. Her hand mixer. I've had the same yellow hand mixer for I think 10 years. I've had no issues with it, but let's see. It might actually be heavier, but they look very similar. It's $29. So that's a pretty cheap hand mixer. I can't remember off the top of my head how much this one was. I think it was around like 50 or 60. Can we have a moment for this though? It just like stores it all together.
Oh, so you don't lose the attachment?
Yeah, I figure sugar cookie dough is a very thick dough and you wanna make sure it's gonna blend things properly. Oh, it has a turbo setting. Okay, I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm trying to click it into the first setting and it feels like it's not clicking in. This other one, you just kind of slowly push it up and it's very easy for it to go forward and back. This one, I feel like this knob it's hard to like, how do you do that while still seeing the numbers? And then all of a sudden it goes way too fast. The interesting part is more the flour, because that's what makes it a thicker dough. Feels pretty hefty duty. I honestly think it's gonna have no issue keeping up. That's on one. I'm surprised how powerful it is, considering a lot of Drew's lines are very lightweight, I feel like less powerful things that are a little bit more budget friendly. I love the look of it, like with everything with a beautiful line, but this functionality for me is killing it. Like, I really do not love this toggle. And not only that, like, it starts really powerful on level 1, which a lot of them do. But that's something that's like beef I've had with every single hand mixer. I want to start on 1. I want that to be very low speed and then build in speed. Like, I shouldn't be able to mix all of that on level 1. It kills it enough for me to give it more like a 6 out of 10. Next, we have Chrissy Teigen, who has her Cravings line. Now, I'm not super familiar with Chrissy Teigen. She started off as a model. Her raw realness and love for desserts drew me into her page, but oh my God, does she ever have a huge line of like boxed desserts that I would love to try out. That's not what we have today. Today, we have her cookware. This one feels heavy. Cravings. Ooh, the packaging. Just extra points right off the gate. This is her Better Baker set for $72. And I found it kind of funny that's called Better Baker set when it's like almost like the Better Roasting set or something, because every picture and thing that's on the site shows roasting it and not baking. I consider when you bake something that you're baking baked goods. You know, you can go bake a chicken. But this is the product, which I think is actually really cool. So it comes with a baking pan that keeps it all together, but then you're supposed to be able to like mix match what you want to bake. And these are silicone, so things aren't gonna stick to them. And then they have little lids to keep everything, I guess when you store it, so you can like bake it and store it, which I think is nifty. The only thing that she shows that's not like a savory item is chocolate chip cookies. And she's got like cookies on this thing before the Better Baker set. So obviously, she wants you to be able to bake cookies on this, but it's supposed to go as a set. So in my mind, can we do cookies and brownies all at once? I like the idea of this, of being able to combine different things and bake different things at once. Make a little thin layer. It's gonna be very thin brownies. I just want to use more containers and compartments, so I thought it was fun. We have our sugar cookie dough from earlier, which I do not feel like rolling out and cutting out shapes of, so we're just gonna do a smushing. I foresee having to bake things at different temperatures being problematic, baking things at different time amounts being problematic.
I know they're selling it and advertising it as like a tray that you can also put these baking dishes on, but you don't necessarily need to put them on the tray.
You make a point. The tray itself feels like very heavy and sturdy, and the silicone is very thick silicone. It's not really thin, cheap stuff, like it feels quality. Brownies and cookies at once. While those bake, let's look what else we got from Chrissy. This one was expensive. The Better Baker set was $72. This is a little bit more than that. Do you get more for it? I'll let you be the judge.
Is it broken? No.
This is the fancy plate. I think it's supposed to be ironic, right? Like, because it's a very not fancy looking plate. Like, it looks like something I made my mom in like a pottery class.
It's not even centered. Is that on purpose?
It was $98. $98. I thought it was a lot bigger. Like, this is a tiny fancy plate. Now, I am not a fancy person. These are the fanciest plates and serving things I own. They're gorgeous, and I had very elegant people help me pick things out for my wedding registry. And also, I'm just a very much more casual person, you know? I'm like, come build your own taco party night, not like, here's my fine dinner and serving things. This is not me. Would you buy this? Do you know someone who will buy this? I need to know. I think that they baked evenly. We realized something. This fancy plate was wrapped in this. Where's all the custom packaging for the very fragile item? Remembering this was the custom packaging for the Baker set, there's no movement. Everything was like perfectly packaged. All the things that aren't fragile, can't move and can't break, and then there's this mess. I'm upset about my broken plate. Brownie's looking done. It was a little bit of juggling in the oven, but I still feel like it's kind of cool. I might have left the cookies in a little bit longer because they're a little bit more brown than I've liked on the bottom, but they are evenly baked brown. We can put our cookies on our fancy plate. Ta-da! I feel like I like the potential of the versatility of the Better Baker set. I do feel like it's more for cooking and not baking, but it did work with like cookies and brownies and doing 2 baked goods at once, all in the oven. So I think that's fun. The fancy plate, I actually prefer the aesthetic of it compared to an actually traditional fancy plate. but I feel like it's still like, it's a lot to make that like ironic joke.
I would probably give the pretty high rating to the Better Baker set. I would knock off points because of the name. And the baking trays seem great, like silicone baking dishes that look real, like you could put those out as serving dishes.
It is very versatile. Maybe you're right, maybe 9. I think I was a little bit stingy. The fancy plate, it's not just that it came broken, yes it did, but like also the packaging for the fancy plate was not there as much as the Better Baker set. And for $100, I feel like I've got to give it like maybe a 5. It didn't need to be $100 to be ironic. The next product is AG1, and I know they're not a celebrity product, but they are a product worth checking out and today's sponsor. Most of you know a bit about my health struggles and that we're on an IVF journey. So that also means when we're not sampling desserts for videos, we need to be at our healthiest. Trying to keep my body functioning normally while juggling a million things has honestly felt borderline impossible lately. Between IVF hormones and just the stress of existing, my gut has not been okay. Honestly, I didn't expect to love a daily health drink this much. Things like this I've had in the past can be hard to stomach, but this is the easiest and tastiest part of my health routine. 1 scoop with some water and shake, done in 30 seconds. Packed with over 75 vitamins, minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, and superfoods. For something that green, it is surprisingly good. I love that it comes with travel packs. They are super easy to just toss in your bag so you're not missing a beat when you're on the go or you're just filming for 12 hours straight in the kitchen. Super convenient. I like to think of AG1 as our safety net for the rest of the day. So yeah, AG1 has become a non-negotiable part of our routine. So if you've been thinking about trying them, now is the best time because you can get started for less than $3 a day. When you subscribe, just head to the link in my description down below or click this QR code on screen.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is known for a lot of things. I mean, she is beloved enough to have her own theme park. But like cooking, really didn't know that that was a thing for her. She also says that she herself is not really much of a cook, which is interesting because she has cookware. I feel like I'm being a little bit excited about this one compared to other ones because I feel like it's the most like celebrity product. So we have a mini cast iron skillet. Look at the little guitar with the little dolly. Like, I'm not sure all the things you make in this, like maybe like 1 egg or like a cookie, maybe like 1 little cookie, but it's just cute. And honestly, I think this one is more of a decorative piece than anything. Like I think this one is very much screaming like, hang me. On the back, it just says Lodge, but I think it's the collaboration that she did. But I love the little dolly and the little butterfly. But are you ready? She's got her face on a cast iron pan. Like how ridiculous, but yet fun is that? I think one of the things that's missing a little bit from these celebrity products is the fact that like people who are buying these, they love the celebrity and they love their work. And I feel like having more of them embedded into the products is really fun. And this I feel like is the only one that's like that. This is Dolly. And I just think that's so fun. Now the small one was only $19. The big one was $54, which I feel like for a giant cast iron pan isn't that expensive. It's also really cute with etching in it. It feels high quality to me. You're a cast iron person, come over.
I'm a cast iron
Yeah,
person.
well you like seasoned our other one. So is this, you think this one's quality?
It's similar. I mean, their stuff used to be a lot smoother. There's grinder marks here. So it's just like their finish is not the best. I think I saw some more over here too. And also this like inside surface is rougher. I think higher quality cast iron, they make this smooth.
Oh, I can see that. So it's like, so it won't stick more to it. Let's see how hers works. So being a Southern girl that Dolly is, we're gonna make a Southern cornbread recipe, but we're gonna make it like dessert style. And it says to preheat this in the oven at 425. I thought we'd make lemon blueberry cornbread. It says use your hands and massage the zest into the dry ingredients. Okay.
Is that how you massage?
And then we're just whisking our milk, oil, and egg with our lemon juice. Whisk, whisk, whisk.
I haven't had cornbread in so long. Deep breaths, Lori. Stay calm. No need to panic.
I'm a calm person. Get me a toothpick!
Why is there towels on the floor?
No, oh, it's bad. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my God, it's getting worse.
You're getting a little...
Okay, don't touch that, Lori. Butter, this is fun. And then Their cornbread, which seems to be poofing up. Blueberries, say they're frozen blueberries. Looks amazing.
Did you set the timer?
I didn't. 20 to 25 minutes.
How's it look? It smells delicious.
It looks and smells amazing. Okay, move, Kevin. It looks maybe a little bit crispy on the outside, more than it should be. It's been cooling for a little bit.
I think they should have put her face on the inside of the pan so you could just flip that out and then have her face on it.
Yes. Okay. Well, it came out really easy. I think Dolly would be proud. I think it's a good price. I think it's a good quality. I think it did everything that I wanted it to do.
What about the grinder marks?
Well, grinder marks don't bug me though.
They bug me.
Okay, so Kevin's giving it a
Give it an 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
Okay, if you didn't flip it over, it would just be boring. I feel like you could have made the handle into a guitar, or you could just like have a little guitar on here or a little like butterfly or something. Why is it only cute on the bottom? I know it's like a Lodge collaboration, but Lodge could have been on the bottom somewhere and we could have had Dolly on the handle. You know, I think those changes, so 9, and Kevin's 8.5. Paris Hilton. Now Paris hops between hobbies faster than her ADHD can keep up, which is like, girl same. And cooking is just one of them, and we can't let her greasy pizza hack deter us, even considering her controversial kind of cooking videos from her earlier days. She is a brilliant businesswoman who has done a huge product line, and she followed me. She followed me on TikTok after we did this last video. Paris, I love you, but that's not gonna save you from an honest review. I have to be honest. Now, I talked about this last time about how Paris is a very fancy person, but her products are actually more on the inexpensive side, except this one was a little bit more. So this one was $174, but part of that was just kind of getting it into Canada, because if you bought it online in the US, I think it's $79 US. It's pink. Oh, it's cute. Oh my God, it's really giving the Beautiful line.
I wonder if they use the same
I was just
manufacturer.
thinking that. I'm like, should we look at what the Beautiful air fryer looks like? Because maybe they're the same.
Like the gold on it is very similar.
You can't deny, these feel like they could have been made by the same person. This is Drew's. I mean, interesting. I feel like that has a lot more functions than our very much more expensive air fryer. But is it just like functions just to add functions, be like, it does all these things, but like it's an air fryer, it all does the same thing? Oh, well, that was less terrifying. Why haven't I been using a spoon all these years? I've done different desserts in the air fryer. One of like the easy favorites, I'm taking our Oreo and wrapping it around like a little Oreo blanket. Pretty. Guess it's not really pretty, but didn't know what else to say. So we have our little Oreo pockets. I also had extra dough, so I made 2 little croissants to see how they do. Okay, let's try this. I think 370 is fine. 5 minutes. Feels quiet.
It's very quiet compared to ours.
Okay, just stopped. Look how perfect they all are. We've got the strawberry powder. It seems to be wanting to rehydrate itself.
Okay, good.
It, I feel like, worked well. I feel like it's very lightweight. Like it's not super heavy, but it's not super like just flimsy. It seems to have a lot of settings. I feel like it did a really good job, and it looks cute. Like I like it better than just like the black plain appliances. I will say that it does feel like a little bit cheaper than other things. Like there is a little bit of pulling it in and out and like closing it. That's like it feels almost like cheap or finicky in that way, but it is. It's kind of a cheaper air fryer. 7 out of 10. We have Paris's $43 waffle maker. The packaging, look at that. It makes a big waffle, but then they like sectioned into like little heart waffles. That's hot. I feel like she could have gone with something like very aesthetic, and it's just like, no, let's go like very on brand, and I love it. Because someone who's gonna buy this, someone's gonna really love Paris. I'm feeling a little, you know, it's not wanting to like snap. So it just feels a little bit off, but it does have a good amount of weight to it. Let's see what kind of waffles it makes.
Do those come out?
No.
How do you clean it?
You present good points, Kevin. It says thoroughly clean the appliance by wiping down the cooking surface with a damp soapy cloth. So is that all you're basically supposed to do whenever you clean it? All right. The green light is on. Oh, hot up here.
I know, it says it right there.
It literally says it. Okay, I think it is clipped because it's not coming out. What was that?
I'm guessing air releasing.
It's a pretty big fart for a waffle iron. It smells good and the steaming is stopped or slowed. A little overdone. I feel like it didn't cook evenly though. Oh, they're tiny. Look how thin they are. Why was I I should have, I feel like, known with how little batter I put in and put 2 and 2 together with that. But this would make like a perfect little, like a waffle taco. I feel like it looks thicker than it is. Look at the depth. This is not the same product. I feel like that this is trying to sell online. Selling is like a whole waffle, but like these are waffle nachos. Could you not make like a viral recipe with doing like breakfast nachos with waffle chips, or like folding it and making like a dessert waffle taco? Like, I feel like there's so much to optimize on this actually being a better, more unique product with different applications than your typical waffle maker. But online, it makes it seem like it's just like a regular waffle. So I feel like you'd be so disappointed when this pops out. It's like, what am I doing with this little thin thing? This doesn't have enough depth to have the pillowiness of a waffle. So you're just getting the crunch and the taste of a waffle, which I feel like works really well as a waffle chip. So the way that it's marketed, I feel like I would give it more like a 4 out of 10. I think if you change the marketing, it would be like a 9.5 out of 10, and I'm only taking off a half point because I think it's a little bit priced high. It has so much potential, it makes little cute waffle chips. Like, that's what I'm gonna have for breakfast this weekend. Last thing from Paris is she has like a charcuterie board set. It's a magnetic 3-part board configuration. Oh my God, I didn't know it came with little knives.
This looks like a putty knife. I could use that for drywalling.
No, you're not gonna use that for drywalling. The theory is that you could basically serve this as a circle or square, or, does it slide? I'm sorry. It's okay, boo-boo. You can make it into like a big oval, or on the box, they're showing in the oval and the square and the circle, but they're not showing it as the heart. And they show that on the Amazon listing, but then there's no magnets. There should be a magnet in this end to hold it there.
Why don't you put this on the main? What goes in the main part? That is very logical.
Okay.
Much better.
Much better. Yeah. I like the idea of sections, that kind of sections at your charcuterie board, so you're not just having this one big board. I do like the idea about being able to reconfigure this board. I think that is very cool.
You see him?
Oh, Jesus.
You're so dramatic, Archie. Oh. You're so dramatic.
Okay, the board itself was $70, which I feel like is a little on the expensive end for what it is, but I like these little things. Like, these are really cute. I think it's like just like a cute set. I don't know, I think I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. And it's mainly because there's not magnets here and it keeps scaring my dog. You're a good boy. Stanley Tucci. I fell in love with Stanley through like the Hunger Games and Devil Wears Prada, but he just seems as lovable and fancy in real life.
Wow, now I'm more hungry. Me too.
And he's written a couple cookbooks. I've seen him on TikTok just doing like random cooking videos, and his cooking products look so high-end and fancy, so I'm excited to try them out. I mean, it's got made in Italy right on the box, and look at the big Tucci logo. Like, even like the branding on this box just feels fancy. So this one was called Stanley's Always Pan.
Stanley Pan.
Stanley Pan.
You're mixing Selena and Stanley. I like what you were saying about the packaging being simple. It's like, it's not trying to convince you to buy it. Like, it knows its value.
Yeah, I see that. I do have some appreciation for the tissue paper though. Oh, it's a little sleeve.
It even comes with a pan stacker. See, this is the difference between like cheap stuff and expensive stuff. You're having such a good time opening this up.
I am. I mean, it's a pan at the end of the day, but it's really pretty. Oh, there's even Tucci on the handle. Look, I love that little detail. Look at the Tucci there. Tucci everywhere.
Here's a Tucci, there's a Tucci, everywhere's a Tucci.
And then on the bottom.
Careful you don't drop the lid.
Yeah, I should just, I don't know why I'm looking at it like that, like it's a top. Here comes it. On the bottom, like a normal person, like an adult will hold a pan. It's got the Stanley Tucci. Now the only thing with our stovetop is that we notice when we have it on, it messes with our microphones and it messes with the audio. So we're gonna use a little cooktop on here. So we're bringing back out our propane cooktop. Should we reveal how much this Stanley pan
I guess we haven't done that yet.
set us back? So Stanley's products were a little on the higher end. This pan was $259. That is a lot for one single pan. It is a very fancy pan, but that is a lot for a pan. We thought we would test it with red velvet crepes. I have gel food coloring, not liquid, and the recipe specifically said 1 tablespoon of liquid. So we're only gonna add a little bit of gel because Kevin messed us up last time.
Oh, I gotta get my thermal camera.
Kevin bought a thermal camera for what? I
Is it?
really
Oh, my hand's
don't
in the way.
know.
It's not heating very evenly though.
No?
She's mocking my thermal camera.
is way
Well, turn
too
it
hot.
down.
Huh?
Turn it down. Well, look at how uneven that is. Yeah,
Good
so
thing
you
we
would,
have-
you would never know.
We would never know.
There's a very hot spot where the flame is.
But that's probably also because the flames are just in the center, so that's making it
Yeah,
hot.
but a good frying pan will distribute the heat evenly across it. Let's see if this one distributes evenly. This is super interesting. You guys are like blown away by this, right? Look at this. I don't get paid enough. Oh no, I'm doing a terrible job on both. Okay, I think that's enough thermal camera.
Is it cooking evenly?
I don't know.
Wasn't that the whole point?
Why are you yelling at me?
The whole point wasn't to see if it cooked evenly?
It was very interesting to me and it was like an excuse to use the camera and I had a good time.
Oh.
Hey, look
See,
at
that
that!
side looks good. You question me.
Except for that big chunk I ripped out.
Let's just not look at the chunk. Oh, the pan works. Crepe.
All right, that's not bad.
I mean, it seemed to cook evenly and cook fast,
How is it? Mediocre?
but I don't think that's the stand pan problem. I think that's a me problem.
The fact that it can cook such a
Yeah.
thin thing pretty evenly, but there is more
There
burning
is-
in the center where it was showing the hot spot.
There is. How
Yeah.
do you take this out? It was just a little crumple.
I think that's the way they do it in the professional restaurant settings.
And then they just like unfold it like laundry.
exactly, yeah, when you order crepes at the restaurant, that's exactly what they're doing in the kitchen. Unfolding it like laundry. Sometimes they might hang them on a hanger like to dry.
We also got Stanley's 2-quart saucepan. Now Kevin thought that this one wasn't necessary, but look how cute it is.
One of your convincing arguments to get this was that you don't have any little pots like this.
I don't have any cute little pots like this.
What is this? Laurie?
Well, it's not cute.
This whole set of stainless steel pots and pans probably costs as much as one of those.
So it needs to be said. These two were the same price,
Were they really? It's so crazy that they would be the same.
but it's cute. Everyone in the audience, tell Kevin how cute it is. So
I'm not
get
gonna,
mad at me.
I can't deny that they look good. So I was reading the instructions, and it says that you shouldn't use metal utensils. So this is really interesting because in the instructions they acknowledge that it's technically a metal utensil.
I don't want to mess up my $259 pot.
So that's the thing, is that in it acknowledges that non-stick coatings don't last forever.
Why use
We do
this?
have silicone. I mean, yeah, if you don't need a whisk. Should I get the thermal camera? The other thing I should say about the thermal camera is that I don't know how scientific that was. Probably not very, especially because we didn't compare it to like a well-known brand.
Working pretty good so far. Doesn't the fancy pan make you feel fancy? I like fancy caramel.
I mean, I can't get past the fact that this one pan costs more than the whole set.
I know. Oh,
Let's just do that.
don't
Did you
know.
watch this whole video?
I don't know. Look at it.
Oh yeah, his bubble's up like that.
Okay. Ooh. It looks like it worked well. I usually have like very crystally chunky caramel. I like it. I think it's a cute little pot. It's very pretty. It's very expensive. Oh, I don't think I gave the pan a rating either. Okay. I don't know. I really like them. I think they're so beautiful and I feel so fancy using them. But for me, I'm just not that fancy of a person to have like this expensive of cookware, and I feel like I'm just terrified I'm gonna ruin it. 6 stars, just because the price. They're so pretty. We did save the most expensive one for last. $579. On the website, they had 2 different versions of this. This is the cheap one. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Is it almost $600 gorgeous?
No. The bigger one that they sell, their extra large one, is $1,014. And I was like, we almost bought it for the video. So I can't justify.
So that's what $400 difference looks like?
So this is the smaller one that's almost 600, and then the bigger one's over 1,000. Stanley. It's so pretty, but Stanley. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's olive wood, and I feel like it's honestly gorgeous. It's got this really pretty handle on it. It says Tucci on it. The wood pattern is very, very pretty. But the thing is I don't think it's actually a cutting board. In the title, it literally says cutting board olive wood. Not one picture shows you actually like cutting things on it. And there's even a video on the site. And in the video, you can see them cooking with a cutting board beside it that isn't this cutting board. And then staging the things that they made from using on the cutting board onto here. Because no one wants to cut on your super expensive thing, but then just call it a really expensive like staging board or charcuterie board, not cutting board.
I have so many opinions.
Kevin and I both have a woodworking background, so we could both make this.
All of these are little pieces of wood, and it's not even like a full strip of wood. Like you can see all of the glue lines.
You can see all the little joints here.
They're staggered together.
I actually like
So
the
it's
look of that
cheaper.
though. But it is cheaper
It's
to do that.
cheaper
'cause
to
the
do
bigger,
that.
The bigger board you get, the more expensive it is.
But it's not even, it's just the construction of it. This is such a cheap construction style. And these glue joints, like if you get like moisture on this over time, like you're wiping it down with a damp rag, these are not going to last. And it's not even just like there's little pieces here. It's also, this is
you
two
can see it on this
thicknesses
joint.
of wood. Yeah,
So
there you
this is
go.
one side and this is the other side.
It's really hard to see, but it's just like
There's
for
just-
$600, this should be pristine.
That's the thing. I honestly, I feel like this feels like a $200 charcuterie board, and even that would be expensive, but that would be for a very fancy one. The price does feel a little extreme. Let's see how it looks dressed up with all of our desserts. It's so pretty. Honestly, it was really nice just staging it with all the different desserts and fruits and stuff. I even got the little honeycomb that I've never tried, because I'm like, let's make it fancy, because it has to match that fancy price tag. Rating, I don't know, Stanley. I love it. I feel like it's one of my top 3 products from this video. The other ones, the personal blender from Drew Barrymore, loved that. And I think remarketed the cute little waffle maker from Paris Hilton. I actually really like it. Just it needs to be remarketed. But the cutting board is one of my top, but it's just, the charcuterie board, because it's so fancy, it's so pretty, but it's just, honestly, it's way too expensive. I feel like it should be closer to $200 and it'd be so much higher of a rating, but I think as is, it has to be more like a 5 just because it's too expensive. I love testing out these products, so if you have other celebrities that I haven't reviewed yet, or there's other products from these celebrities that you want me to try out, leave them in the comments down below. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.